Alright, today we have Slaves to Darkness, Knights of the Empty Throne. We have one hero, it's a Sorcerer Lord back here. He's got the command trait Shaman of Chilled Lands for all the spells in the GHB, mainly Hoarfrost. He's going to have the Chaos Familiar artifact, so he can once per game cast a spell from any of the lore of slaves. So probably demonic speed for that. And he's going to be in a battle regiment with everyone else here. We got 15 Nurgle Knights with the eroding icon, and we have 2 units of 6 Varanguard with Fell Spears and Mark of Corn. Sorcerer Lord is going to be Mark Undivided. We are 100 points under. Our Triumph is going to be Inspired for +1 to wounds once per game. And our grand strategy is Overshadow because the odds of him turning himself into a Demon Prince with very limited cast that I want to spend on the Knights are not very high. So we'll try for something else, just kill the battle line, and everything in my army's battle line that's not the Sorcerer Lord, so they should survive. See how it goes.
Hello again, guys. We're back with another Skaven list. This is the list that we took to the Invitational Tournament. If you've been following along with our route towards that this year, we are looking at a 2,000 points Skaven. We're going to start off with our general here, the Grey Seer on foot, Shaman of the Chilled Lands command trait, and we took a Warlord for an additional spell enhancement. He will have Skitterleap and Death Frenzy. Got us a Warp Grinder. That's going to be paired over here with our 10 Plague Censer Bearers. We have Skabbik and his Plague Claw, his Plague Pack there. Pretty good objective control. We've got a Hell Pit with the Toughened Sinews for 4-up save and a 16 wounds. Plague Furnace. 2 Screaming Bells. This one is going to have Flaming Weapon and Levitate. And this one will have Death Frenzy and Skitterleap. The Furnace will have Rabid-rabid as its prayer for +1 attacks characteristics. We'll have a Plague Priest on foot down here. He'll have Filth-filth for a Pestilence unit +1 to wound prayer. That pairs well with our 30 block of Plague Monks here. 2 blocks of 20 Clanrats. And the Pendulum. That rounds us out at 2,000 points. Grand strategy of Arch-corruptors in the Mortal Realms. We've got to have 3 of our heroes alive in this one. Combination of Pestilence and Master Clan, and we have 6 of them. We got a Vanguard. That's got our Censer Bearers, the Grey Seer on foot, and the Warp Grinder for that reroll charges out of Deep Strike if we need it, without having to have a hero nearby. Hello guys, today we're playing Power Flux. The twist on this one is it's only A. The 2 objectives marked A there, so north and south, or east and west, B will be activated. This will be the player who's going second will get to choose either ones that are active, A and A or B and B, and then you can score 1 point for one and 1 for both that are activated, and you score an additional point for an Antorian Locus that is contesting an objective and no enemy Antorian Locus are contesting it. Here we are with our deployment. What you got going on over here?
Varanguard flanking the 15 Knights and the Sorcerer Lord in the middle, in range of trying to buff up the Knights before sending them in. And that's my whole army. So
here you go. We got our null holes, 1 on the left and 1 on the right of the deployment. And we got our big ball of rats over here. I'm expecting him to kind of charge in and try and pin me here, so we got everything kind of screened with these bells and the furnace. Hell Pit's in action. Everything's within range. The prayers for getting +1 to chance outside of 30 with the Grey Seer and such. Plague Monks are a little bit back, and we've got in reserve our Censer Bearers and Warp Grinder. So you finished first with your 1 drop.
Yeah, I'm taking turn 1. Battle tactic will be run them down from the Slaves to Darkness book. I have to make a charge with 3 or more units, which will be 3 out of my 4 units in my army. So we'll see how that goes. Hoping for some decent run rolls to make it easier charges.
Okay, going to turn 1, Slaves Darkness.
Alright, end of Slaves Darkness, turn 1. Made all the charges, spent a command point on these guys to auto 6 run, and then had to spend my last command point to reroll their charge from a 6 into an 8, which was enough. Let's see, so first we went with these guys. They swung into the bell, did 4 damage, and did 14 damage to the Hell Pit. And then, so the Hell Pit was left with 2 wounds because of the mutation. He swung in and did a few damage. The Variant Guard tanked pretty good. I went with these guys and killed the Furnace.
Yeah, -1 to hit and wound on the Furnace.
Yeah.
I thought he would be the one to survive, but
Right, rolled really, really good on the hit rolls for the Fell Spears. Went with the Knights, put pretty much everything into the bell with 1 or 2 dudes going into the Hell Pit with the hooves. Didn't kill it, but put 7 wounds on it, which is fine. And then activated the Variant Guard for a second time mostly into the bell with 2 into the Hell Pit to finish it off. And got the bell up to, what's that, 11? 10
yes,
wounds?
11 wounds on the bell.
11 wounds. So, unfortunately, it's probably getting the Vermin Lord on his turn, but it'll probably be pretty easy to kill afterward. And hopefully, we might be able to finish off that one at some point before it gets any more wounds on it. Best case scenario. So, that's kind of what the hope is. This line, after Battle Shock, is wide open for the Plague Monks to go through, which is kind of unfortunate for me that I did kill the Furnace, because Battle Shock immunity would have stayed and the Plague Monks wouldn't have got into me, but -1 prayer will make it a little harder to power him up. So maybe survive a bit better. Nurgle Knights are pretty tanky, but the Variant Guard are not Nurgle. So we'll see how it goes into them. But yeah, scoring. I do take this objective. I held this objective and have an Antorian Acolyte on it for 3 objective points, plus 2 from Battle Tactic for charging all of my units. Going up to 5 points for the turn into Skaven turn 1.
All right. Into the shooting phase for Skaven, we took our battle tactic of Letting in the Maelstrom. We cracked the bell. We got Screech. We got our -1 to hit aura on the other bell, and so that's going to help us out a little bit. That's about all that kind of went right. We did get a Blizzard off on the Seer, and we did 7 mortal wounds, I think, to the Variant Guard over here. We miscast with this bell, took a wound, which put us in a hard place because he was at our +3 to cast and he had Death Frenzy. So these monks don't have Death Frenzy, and the Furnace being dead means no more +1 to attacks prayer, but we did get the +1 to wound prayer off, and we Skavenbrewed them, took 1 mortal wound, lost 1 guy for +1 attacks characteristics. We got Screech's spell off, did a couple mortal wounds over here to this Variant Guard unit, summoned a unit of 4 Clanrats, and they're now running across the board. We finally Stoward Screech. He's on the knowledge category of -3 rend and -3 damage, or 3 damage to his glaive. We misprayed with Skabbik. We were going to hit this objective, blow it up, and then be the only ones who can control it, but now I got to do it the hard way. And we brought our Warp Grinder down over here, and our Plague Sensor Bearers, and we sent the remainder of our Clanrat unit that was almost killed through the null hole to kind of start setting up some board control behind this pin and play for the double turn, see what happens here. The monks are going to have to do a lot. We did not get Horror Frost off with our 3d6. We had to put both Primal into the Blizzard, and you had 2 Primal dice as well, so it's kind of...
I chose to ignore the Blizzard because they have a 4-up ward against mortals. Knights have a 5-up ward. I figured I would probably survive, and maybe he would take some damage from it, and I would save it for Warfrost, but then Warfrost didn't work, so I'm just stuck with 2 Primals I can't do anything with.
Yeah, so here we are. Screech did a couple wounds on shooting, just 1, I think. Going into the charge phase. Okay, here we are, end of Skaven turn 1. Lots have changed, mostly on my side. The Plague Monks made it in with an 8 to charge we copied across the board. They did some damage, killed 4 Variant Guard, some assortment of Knights, and one over here, none? I don't know.
You got another one over there.
Okay.
Between all the guys in the zone.
Yeah, the Screech went in, did a little bit of damage to the Knights. We tried to force that Battle Shock. Variant Guard just barely met. The Plague Monks went in, did get Death Frenzy off on them, so they were just relying on their 6s to Mortal Wound, which they did take out. They did some work with that. The Bell's still alive. He's got 12 wounds on him now. And we failed our charges over here with the Censer Bearers, but this Clanrat unit's slowly coming back. The Clanrat unit that was over here is dead. We inspired presence the Plague Monks. We probably shouldn't have, because we actually meet how many he has on the objective. So we don't take it. So we score a grand total of 2 points for our Led into the Maelstrom, and it is currently 5-2 in favor of slaves.
Yeah, so this roll off, regardless of how it goes, I'm gonna be in a kind of weird spot. If I win it and I can take it, he can make both these 2 objectives active, and I'm not gonna be able to take those, except maybe with the Varangard. Could make it in. It'll be down to a rally there, and if he wins it, he's getting another Vermin Lord.
Yeah, I got a 2-up on this Vermin Lord coming out of this bell if it's my turn. So
this will be interesting.
Let's see if we can make it. Oh, there's a 6. I got a 6 too, but you went first, so you win ties. So it's still your decision to make.
I think I'm gonna have to take it because I am ahead on points right now. So hopefully I'll be able to afford losing out later, and I don't want another Vermin Lord. So if possible, I'm gonna try and take out that bell. It's gonna be the base point.
Okay.
See how it goes.
Makes sense, and I will do the activation of the objectives on either side.
Alright, end of charge phase, Slaves to Darkness, turn 2. Took Magical Dominance, did get it with Drawn Power, so they have Demonic Power on them, because they were the only things within range. We ran him up, rolled a 1, but he's more or less where he needs to be now. He's got some good range on his spells from here. These guys, rallied them, nothing happens, unfortunately, because this is going to be tough. Trying to kill as many of them as possible. I'm on a charge now, because they were outside 3, so I could rally. It's still just 2 guys, so it's going to be tough. I'm not sure if it's going to happen, but if I can take them out, that'll be a big help, especially for my grand strategy, which everything's kind of spread out, so that's going to be tough. Over here, these have Demonic Power, so they should be able to put out some damage. Not sure what's going to happen with these guys in Screech, but should be interesting. Hoping to at least, bare minimum, that bell dead and a sizable portion of this unit. That's the goal for this turn, basically. That bell's already cracked, so auras from that one aren't going to be affecting anything. But that -1 to hit aura is causing havoc everywhere. And their -1 to wound is going to be troublesome. So we'll see what happens at the start of the combat phase.
Yep, we finally soured this bell just to see what happens. Okay.
Alright, end of Slaves to Darkness, turn 2. Varangard wiped the Censer Bearers, hit every single Fell Spear roll, and then did the last 4 damage they needed with their mount. It was insane. Knights did 8 damage to the bell, which did absolutely nothing. And then they finished off the Plague Monks, so they did 4 damage to them and did 8 damage to the Plague Priest. Screech killed 3 Varangard and 1 wounds in 1 activation, so they never did anything. That bell's out of combat. The other bell, we're gonna go into Skaven turn 2, so unless he rolls a 1, we'll get another Vermin Lord. I did score 2 points for Magical Dominance, but don't have a whole lot of hopes for the rest of it, just because I don't have a whole lot of units. Rally on the Varangard could help if I get it, but they are on that side of the board, so we'll see how fast they really are. The other Vermin Lord is going to definitely swing it one way or the other to make it a lot easier. If he doesn't get it, I could still have a chance, but they're all tied up. As long as I can keep the bell tied up, that might help.
Yep. So
these objectives still activated, so I don't score either of those. Varangard are on that one, but they're 4 models to his 7. I killed the Censer Battle Line, which goes to my grand strategy, so I just have to kill those and anything else he summons, Clanrats wise. But yeah, we'll see how it goes into Skaven turn 2.
Yes, indeed. Here we are at the end of the shooting phase for Skaven. We tried to roll for the Vermin Lord. We needed a 2-up, and we got a 1. So we blew up the bell. It is no more. We did some casting. We got Dreaded 13th off into this unit. Did some mortals. We still need to put the Clanrat unit down. They'll be over there somewhere. Did some shooting into the Sork Lord there. He took 1. Healed the bell with a heroic recovery, so it's at 9. Looking beefy again. We took Surround and Destroy for our battle tactics. Skitterleaped the Seer over there. And, yeah. Got these Clanrats over here. We auto 6 ran the Warp Grinder. Got Arcane Bolt and Mystic Shield off on Screech. And we befouled this objective and hurt ourselves and him for some mortal wounds. Going into the charge phase. Okay, here we are. Bottom of Skaven. Turn 2. Bottom of 2. We, by the hardest, got Surround and Destroy. Summoned our Clanrats over in the corner. Got our Locust unit within 6 of this objective for an extra point. Auto ran him over there. Screech went into the general trying to stomp and Arcane Bolt him off so that he could then pile into here. But we rolled 1s on both and didn't kill him. Had to go into him with all our combat attacks. Less than ideal. We scurried away. Little Plague Priest over here. And the bell survived. Only took 1 wound, so he's kind of pinning them down. Returned 1 unit, 1 model to this Clanrat unit. So that scores is 5 for the turn. 7-7, roll off for the turn. Oh, you got another 6. All right, yes.
Take it.
Slave of Darkness, turn 3.
All right, Enslave to Darkness, turn 3. Battle tactic was Enthralled to Chaos on that objective, which we took. You just ran these guys, charged them into the Clanrats, and killed them. Knights did 2 damage to the bell, which is fine. They're not on a charge, so I'm not expecting much. Should have charged the Vanguard into Screech, being that Screech is the last threat in the army that I think is going to really kill my units, other than maybe the Plague Pack finishing off the Knights potentially. But they're over here now. Screech is going to charge somebody. We'll see what happens on the cast. But I did score 3 points for the turn. So I'm up to 10 to 7 going into Skaven turn 3.
That's right. Okay, here we are, bottom of turn 3. Skaven, we took our battle tactic of magical dominance and we did succeed. We got some things off. Got another Clanrat unit, all that stuff and things. We killed this knight over here, these 2 knights. Between the bell, finest houred, and we made a 10-inch charge and copied that across the board. So these Clanrats got in, Screech got in, this Clanrat unit over here got in. We killed 1 of the Vanguard. He failed to do any damage back. And that's 5 for the turn for us. Total score right now is 13 to 10. Skaven up, a little off for 4. We got 5 and 5.
Ties again.
Ties again.
I gotta take it, but I don't think it's gonna matter at this point. He can't retreat and charge or anything, and it's turn 4, and he's about to take it, so him retreating would just lead to potential rally for maybe getting a dude back, and then he'll die to Screech for sure. He's got 1 wound anyway, so at the end of the hero phase, the pendulum's most likely gonna kill him.
No, I can't
No,
move
he
it.
can't
It moves
move
in a straight line.
Pivot.
So we'll come back and kind of probably be able to talk things out after this.
Yeah. Yeah, end
So-
of the game.
Yeah, end of the game, we kind of talked it out here. We got a final score of 26-13, 12, 26-12. Skaven win. Good job. It was a very difficult game. Lots of things. I wanted to see what this list could do, and you tested it a lot. There were several misplays along the way on my part. Almost failed Surround and Destroy because of not moving a unit over, but we got this summon. Didn't really see the Plague Furnace dying like that turn 1. Probably should have seen it, but I've never faced this many Vanguard, so we learned that. So that took my chant 3 prayers battle tactic off the board, which made me have to risk it for the biscuit with a magical mayhem in turn 4, which could have been denied by the 4-up mortal wound shrug on the Farron card. But we talked it out, and I get my grand strategy and all 5 battle tactics just barely. Came down to 1/4 up roll for the 1 arcane bolt because we failed the pendulum. And your thoughts on your list?
Having only 1 hero is very crippling, especially when you need as many casts as you can get. But as far as artifact choices for him and stuff, I think this is probably the best I can do with 1 hero. A once per game potential demonic speed at the beginning if they're far away, or save it for later and cast any of the other war spells with the book. I think I got Strike Last in here. But mostly demonic speed to have that, as well as demonic power or levitate if I need to get past the screen. The variant, really just hoping for the Variant Guard to have killed the 1 bell on the far side on turn 1. That would have changed a lot of things, but they just don't really have the damage to chew through that much bodyguard and all that. Killing the Furnace was great. That's what I was hoping for. That and the Hell Pit being the 2 initial threats, other than Plague Monks and Censer Bearers, which were behind them or underground, and I couldn't do anything about it at the time. I kind of thought the Sorcerer Lord was going to die fairly early. His points really, if I can get 2 turns of demonic power on him or a Mystic Shield if I need it, that's great. But other than that, 1 turn of whatever it is I need is more. It's going to be enough. I just need to send everything in. And it's a pinless, it just has to sit there, which it did pretty well for a while, but Screech killing all the Variant Guard, that's kind of hard to deal with. But yeah, as far as the list goes, maybe I could always drop him, take one of these guys as a general, and take another 5 Knights, split them into 2 10s maybe.
Take the Variant Guard as a general you're talking about?
Yeah, take Variant Guard general, that gives Variant Guard a 5-up rally, which would help for sure. But I'd be sacrificing Artifact command trait and all of my casts, plus a Null Stone adornment that I'd then have access to. So I feel like that's not the best call, having them as general. But, yeah.
Okay, well there we go. Interesting game, back and forth. Couple misplays here and there. Some practice needed to be had there. But thanks. Let us know what y'all think. If you want to see more of these armies, you go ahead and check it out. We got playlists for each army.